Top 7 vitamins to strengthen your legs. Imagine waking up in the morning and feeling steady the moment your feet touch the floor. Your legs respond with strength instead of hesitation. You stand up without gripping the edge of the bed. You walk without that quiet fear of losing balance. For many people over 60, this sense of security feels like something that slowly fades with time. But in most cases, it is not simply age taking control. It is nutrition. Strong legs are not built by chance. They are supported daily by very specific nutrients that your body depends on to maintain muscle tissue, preserve bone density, and keep your balance sharp. In this series, we are going to explore the 7 most important vitamins and minerals that help protect leg strength as the years go by. These nutrients influence how well you move, how stable you feel, and how confidently you navigate your day, whether that means walking in the park, climbing stairs, dancing at family gatherings, or simply maintaining your independence at home. Before we continue, I'd genuinely like to know where you're watching from. Leave a comment and feel free to share your experience. And if you value practical, research-based health guidance designed especially for adults over 60, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss an update. Let's move forward together. Let's begin with one of the most overlooked yet powerful nutrients for leg strength: vitamin D. As we age, subtle biological shifts begin to change how our bodies function. Muscle mass gradually declines. Bones become less dense. Movements that once required no thought may begin to feel heavier or less coordinated. One major contributor to this decline is something surprisingly simple: low vitamin D levels. Most people associate vitamin D with bone health, and that is certainly important. But its role goes much deeper. Vitamin D is directly involved in muscle performance, coordination, and balance. Without adequate levels, the muscles in your legs cannot function optimally. One reason deficiency becomes so common later in life is that the skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. At the same time, many older adults spend less time outdoors. Limited mobility, lifestyle changes, or concerns about sun exposure all reduce the opportunity for natural vitamin D production. Over time, this quiet deficiency can weaken muscle fibers and reduce stability. Research consistently shows a strong link between low vitamin D levels and increased risk of falls in older adults. In clinical studies, seniors with sufficient vitamin D had stronger muscle fibers, better balance, and improved coordination compared to those who were deficient. Those lacking adequate levels often experienced faster muscle decline, making everyday tasks, like rising from a chair or climbing stairs, more difficult. Vitamin D supports the process of protein synthesis within muscle cells. It also improves the communication between nerves and muscles. Think of it as part of the electrical system that keeps your legs responsive. Without it, reaction time slows. Strength decreases. Stability becomes less reliable. It is especially important for preserving fast-twitch muscle fibers. These are the fibers responsible for quick corrective movements when you trip or lose balance. They are your body's built-in fall prevention system. When vitamin D levels drop, these fibers weaken, and your ability to react quickly diminishes. Beyond strength and coordination, vitamin D also helps regulate inflammation within muscle tissue. Many older adults experience leg stiffness, cramps, or chronic discomfort without realizing that low vitamin D may be contributing. Correcting the deficiency often leads to noticeable improvements in comfort and mobility. The consequences of ignoring vitamin D deficiency extend beyond muscle weakness. Without sufficient vitamin D, calcium absorption declines. Bones gradually become more fragile, increasing the risk of osteoporosis and fractures. A minor fall that once would have caused only a bruise can result in a serious injury. Additionally, low levels have been associated with cardiovascular issues, reduced immune resilience, and even cognitive decline. The encouraging news is that restoring healthy vitamin D levels is both simple and effective. Spending 15 to 30 minutes outdoors in the morning or late afternoon can stimulate natural production. Exposing areas like the arms and legs increases absorption, although heavy sunscreen use can reduce this effect. Diet can also contribute, though food alone is rarely sufficient. Fatty fish, such as salmon, mackerel, and sardines, provide meaningful amounts. Fortified dairy products, egg yolks, and certain mushrooms can also help support intake. For many older adults, especially those who spend limited time in sunlight, supplementation becomes necessary. Most experts suggest between 800 and 1,000 international units daily, although higher doses may be prescribed under medical supervision when deficiency is confirmed. If there is uncertainty about your levels, a simple blood test can provide clarity. Many physicians now routinely check vitamin D because of its critical role in preventing falls and fractures. When vitamin D levels are restored, the difference is often gradual but powerful. Muscles respond better. Balance improves, confidence returns, and over time, those small improvements add up to something much larger, independence. And this is only the first nutrient on our list. In the next section, we will continue exploring the remaining vitamins and minerals that work together to protect your leg strength and keep you moving safely for years to come. Now let's talk about something that quietly determines whether a fall becomes a bruise or a life-changing injury: calcium. When we are young, our bones are constantly rebuilding themselves. There is a balance between breakdown and repair. But with age, that balance shifts. Bone loss slowly begins to outpace bone formation. The result is gradual thinning, especially in critical areas like the hips and legs. And this is where the danger increases. A fall in your 30s may mean soreness. A fall in your 70s with low calcium reserves can mean a hip fracture, a broken femur, or months of painful recovery. In some cases, it can permanently change a person's independence. That is why calcium is not just about bone density numbers on a scan. It is about preserving freedom of movement. But calcium does more than strengthen bones. Every time you take a step, calcium ions enter your muscle cells and trigger contraction. Without enough calcium, muscles cannot contract smoothly or efficiently. Movements may feel weaker. Cramps may become more frequent. Endurance may decrease. Some older adults describe it as legs that feel unreliable, like they cannot generate enough force to feel secure. If you have ever experienced nighttime leg cramps, unexplained muscle fatigue, or sluggish movement, low calcium may be playing a role. The most familiar sources of calcium are dairy products such as milk, yogurt, and cheese. These remain excellent options for many people. But they are not the only sources. Leafy greens like kale and bok choy provide meaningful amounts. Almonds, tofu, sardines, and fortified plant-based milks also contribute significantly. The key is variety. Combining different sources throughout the week supports more consistent absorption. However, diet alone is not always enough. Some older adults have reduced appetite, dietary restrictions, or absorption challenges. In those cases, supplementation can help fill the gap, especially when paired with vitamin D, which enhances calcium absorption. But balance matters. Excess calcium, particularly from high-dose supplements, can increase the risk of kidney stones, digestive discomfort, or even arterial calcification. For most older adults, a daily intake between 1,000 and 1,200 milligrams is considered appropriate, ideally coming primarily from food, with supplements used thoughtfully if needed. There is another factor that many people overlook: movement. Bones respond to stress. Weight-bearing activities, such as walking, light resistance training, or gentle strength exercises, signal the body to deposit calcium into bone tissue. Without movement, even adequate calcium intake cannot fully strengthen the skeleton. Nutrition and physical activity work together. Ignoring calcium needs does not only increase fracture risk, it gradually chips away at confidence, at independence, at the simple joy of moving freely without fear. Strong bones support strong legs, and strong legs support a strong life. Now, let's move deeper, beyond muscles and bones, and talk about something many people rarely associate with leg strength: vitamin B12. While calcium and protein often receive attention, vitamin B12 plays a completely different but equally essential role. It protects the nervous system. It ensures that electrical signals travel efficiently from your brain and spinal cord down into your legs. If those signals weaken, muscles do not respond properly. Without adequate B12, you may experience legs that feel heavy or unusually tired. Some people describe numbness, tingling, or a subtle loss of coordination. Balance may feel uncertain, not because the muscles are incapable, but because the communication system controlling them is impaired. Unfortunately, B12 deficiency is extremely common in older adults. Unlike many nutrients that are absorbed easily, vitamin B12 requires a healthy digestive system. The body depends on sufficient stomach acid and a substance called intrinsic factor to absorb it properly. As we age, stomach acid production naturally declines. Conditions such as gastritis or long-term use of acid-reducing medications can further limit absorption. Over time, even if intake seems adequate, levels may slowly drop. Left untreated, B12 deficiency can lead to nerve damage that becomes difficult to reverse. Reflexes may weaken, coordination may deteriorate, falls may become more frequent. Many people assume this decline is simply normal aging, when in reality it is often preventable. Correcting low B12 levels can significantly improve energy, responsiveness, and leg performance. The richest food sources include lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy products, and shellfish, especially clams and liver. For those who follow plant-based diets, fortified foods become essential. And for individuals with absorption challenges, supplements or periodic injections may be necessary. The reassuring part is that vitamin B12 supplementation is generally safe. Excess amounts are excreted through urine, making toxicity rare. Many older adults benefit from higher-dose oral supplements or medical injections when levels are low. Regular blood testing ensures levels remain protective. Strong legs are not built on muscle alone. They depend on precise coordination between nerves and muscle fibers. Vitamin B12 is the silent guardian of that connection. And as we continue, you will see that leg strength is never about one single nutrient. It is about a system, a network of vitamins and minerals working together to protect stability, confidence, and independence. We've talked about bones. We've talked about nerves. Now, let's focus on something many older adults feel every single night, even if they don't know why. Magnesium. Every step you take depends on a precise rhythm. Your muscles tighten, then release. Tighten, then release. Magnesium is one of the key minerals that allows that rhythm to stay smooth. It regulates the signals traveling between nerves and muscle fibers, preventing overcontraction and reducing fatigue. When magnesium levels drop, that rhythm becomes disrupted. One of the earliest signs is something many seniors dismiss as just getting older: restless legs or nighttime cramps, those sudden calf contractions that wake you from sleep, the tightness that forces you to stretch in the dark. These episodes are often a sign that muscles are not relaxing properly. Magnesium acts like a calming influence on overactive nerves. It prevents sudden spasms and allows muscles to release fully after contraction. Without enough of it, the muscles stay partially tense, increasing fatigue and discomfort. But magnesium does more than protect against cramps. While calcium often gets all the attention for bone strength, magnesium quietly directs calcium where it belongs. It helps move calcium into bone tissue and prevents it from depositing in soft tissues, like arteries and joints. In this way, magnesium supports both skeletal strength and cardiovascular health. Research shows that higher magnesium intake is associated with improved bone density and lower fracture risk in older adults. When magnesium levels are adequate, bones become more resilient, and muscles function more efficiently. Unfortunately, deficiency is common. Stress alone can deplete magnesium. Many medications frequently prescribed to seniors, such as diuretics or acid-reducing drugs, also lower magnesium levels over time. Add a diet low in leafy greens and seeds, and the result is fatigue, shorter walking tolerance, slower stair climbing, and reduced endurance. Many people assume this is simply aging, when in reality it may be nutrient depletion. When magnesium levels are restored, the improvement can feel surprisingly fast. Cramps decrease, energy improves, movements feel smoother, balance becomes steadier as nerve-muscle communication stabilizes. The richest food sources include leafy greens like spinach, nuts, and seeds, especially pumpkin seeds and almonds, whole grains, legumes such as black beans and avocados. If diet alone is not sufficient, forms like magnesium citrate or magnesium glycinate are generally well absorbed. When magnesium is replenished, many seniors describe feeling lighter in their legs, more stable, and less interrupted by nighttime discomfort. It is a quiet but powerful foundation for mobility. Now let's talk about another mineral that many people associate only with bananas, but whose role is far greater: potassium. If you have ever woken up with a sharp calf cramp that seems to come out of nowhere, potassium may be involved. This mineral regulates fluid balance inside and outside muscle cells. It ensures that muscles contract when they should and relax when they should. When potassium levels are low, muscles can contract involuntarily. The result is sudden spasms, trembling, or stiffness. Some older adults notice that their legs shake slightly after standing. Others feel their feet dragging or struggling to lift fully while walking. These subtle changes may be signs that nerve signals are not traveling efficiently. Potassium helps maintain that electrical communication between nerves and muscles. Without enough of it, weakness and instability increase, and so does fall risk. Its role does not stop there. Potassium also supports bone health by neutralizing acids in the body that can slowly weaken bone tissue. Diets rich in potassium have been associated with slower bone loss and reduced risk of osteoporosis. In other words, potassium helps bones and muscles work in harmony. Fortunately, obtaining potassium through food is often simple. While bananas are well known, foods like sweet potatoes, avocados, spinach, beans, oranges, and baked potatoes with their skin intact often provide even higher amounts. A varied, plant-rich diet typically supplies sufficient intake. General daily needs are approximately 2,600 milligrams for women and 3,400 milligrams for men. However, individuals with kidney disease or certain blood pressure conditions should consult their physician before making changes, as potassium balance must be monitored carefully in those cases. Strong legs depend on strong electrical signaling, and potassium keeps that current flowing. Finally, let's discuss a nutrient that rarely gets the attention it deserves, but may be the missing link in bone protection. Vitamin K. Most people hear about calcium and vitamin D when discussing bone health. But without vitamin K, calcium does not always go where it should. Vitamin K activates a protein called osteocalcin, which binds calcium to bone tissue. Without adequate vitamin K, calcium can accumulate in arteries instead of bones. That leads to vascular stiffness and compromised circulation, both of which can affect mobility. With sufficient vitamin K, bones remain denser and more resilient. Studies show that individuals with higher vitamin K intake experience fewer fractures and stronger skeletal structure over time. But vitamin K also influences joints and muscles. It helps regulate calcium inside muscle cells, supporting coordination and reducing instability. Additionally, it may reduce joint inflammation, easing stiffness, especially in weight-bearing joints like the knees. For seniors struggling with mild arthritis or stiffness when standing, vitamin K can play a supportive role. The primary food sources of vitamin K1 include leafy greens such as spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, and Brussels sprouts. Vitamin K2, which is particularly effective in directing calcium into bones, is found in fermented foods like natto, certain aged cheeses, egg yolks, and liver. Supplementation may be helpful in some cases, but individuals taking blood-thinning medications must consult their doctor before increasing vitamin K intake, as it directly influences clotting mechanisms. When vitamin K is adequate, calcium becomes an ally instead of a risk. Bones strengthen, circulation improves, coordination stabilizes. And as you can see, leg strength is never about one single nutrient. It is a coordinated system. Bones, muscles, nerves, and circulation all working together. In the final section, we'll complete the picture and bring these pieces together into a clear strategy for protecting your mobility long-term. We've spoken about calcium for bones, magnesium for muscle rhythm, potassium for electrical balance, and vitamin K for directing calcium where it belongs. Now let's close this circle with one final nutrient that quietly supports all the others. Vitamin B6. Also known as pyridoxine, vitamin B6 plays a much larger role in leg health than most people realize. While it may not receive the same attention as vitamin D or calcium, it is deeply involved in nerve function, muscle repair, and the metabolism of protein, the very building block of muscle tissue. Without adequate B6, even well-nourished muscles can struggle to perform. Standing up may feel more tiring than it should. Climbing stairs may require more effort. Endurance may quietly decline. One of the most overlooked effects of low vitamin B6 is its impact on nerve signaling. Just like vitamin B12, B6 supports the communication pathways between the brain and the muscles. When levels are insufficient, signals travel more slowly. The result may be numbness, tingling sensations, or unsteady steps. Many older adults assume these sensations are simply part of aging, when in reality they may reflect a nutritional gap. Vitamin B6 also helps regulate inflammation. By supporting proper immune and metabolic function, it contributes to faster muscle recovery and improved flexibility. Muscles that recover well remain more responsive and resilient. Another critical role of vitamin B6 lies in red blood cell production. Red blood cells carry oxygen to working muscles. Without enough B6, oxygen delivery becomes less efficient. The legs may feel heavy, fatigue may appear sooner during walking. Stamina decreases, not necessarily because of weakness, but because of reduced oxygen support. Fortunately, vitamin B6 is widely available in food. Good sources include poultry, salmon, tuna, bananas, potatoes, chickpeas, and fortified cereals. For individuals with limited diets or digestive absorption issues, supplementation may be considered. Daily needs are modest, approximately 1.5 milligrams for women and 1.7 milligrams for men over 50. However, more is not always better. Excessive supplementation over time can actually harm nerves, so balance is essential. When vitamin B6 intake is steady and appropriate, nerve communication improves, energy production stabilizes, and muscle repair becomes more efficient. The legs feel steadier, not just stronger, but more coordinated. And this brings us to something important. Leg strength after 60 is never about one miracle vitamin. It is about synergy. Vitamin D supports muscle fibers. Calcium strengthens bones. Magnesium ensures proper contraction and relaxation. Potassium maintains electrical balance. Vitamin K directs calcium correctly. B12 and B6 protect the nervous system and energy production. Together, they create stability. If you found this information helpful, take a moment to press the like button. It truly helps us continue producing practical, research-based content designed to protect your independence and mobility. I would also love to hear from you. Leave a comment sharing your experience, your questions, or the health topics you'd like us to explore next. Your participation helps guide future videos, and if staying strong, steady, and informed matters to you, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss upcoming health guidance. Stay active, stay nourished, stay steady. I'll see you in the next video.